Bible memory. I mean, folks, there are Bible memory people in this church. The Shetlers have done it for so long. And when you look, just go out there and look at that wall. The kids here are looking at the Bibles, and it is so beautiful. And so we're going to make it happen in here as well. Welcome back. I want to especially welcome you back to the second installment of our Psalm 23 series. I also want to welcome anyone who might be watching on YouTube, because our sermons are going to be on YouTube now, thanks to Ken Becker, our summer intern, and his skills. All you need to do, now for those of you who are going, you what? This isn't for you. This is for the young folk who are looking at videos all the time on a website called YouTube. What I have to do is go in there and punch in Smithville Mennonite, and it'll pull up last week's sermon, and Lord willing, my batteries don't fail, it'll pull up this week's sermon. So that's the scoop. We're going to continue our series now on Psalm 23. If there would ever be a God's greatest hits from the Bible, it would probably include Psalm 23. It is one of the most beloved psalms in the Bible. It's a psalm that most people memorize as children if they're raised in the church. And I believe if it would be on the greatest hits of the Bible, it would probably be number one. And so we're going to look into that passage deeply. Now, unfortunately, it's mostly heard these days. Where at? Where do you always hear Psalm 23? Funerals. But folks, we must never forget Psalm 23 has so much to say about life and living our lives with the Good Shepherd. I remember the first time I heard the 23rd Psalm. And I remember getting to the section that we're going to look into today. If you have your outlines handy, I would like for us to read together the point to the first comma. Okay, so we read together the point to the first comma. Let's try it out. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Now, can I just share a little bit how rebellious I was as a child?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
I remember reading that and thinking, what do you mean he maketh me? What if I don't want to lay down in green pastures? What if I don't like it beside the still waters? Why would God make it me do anything? But then, I got a mother-in-law. Okay? And my mother-in-law made me chicken lasagna. What does that have to do with anything? I'm going to tell you. I don't particularly like lasagna. It's not my favorite dish. In fact, with the right amount of cottage cheese, it ranks very close to the bottom of my list. But then, my mother-in-law made me eat lasagna. Because she made me chicken lasagna. In chicken lasagna, you start out with lots of cheese, like gooey Velveeta, nice cheese. And then she loaded it with mushrooms and stuff like that. And then she puts more cheese on top of the noodles. And all of a sudden, I realized she was making me eat lasagna because I loved it. Suddenly, I was being made to do something, not by force, but by love of what it was. It's the same way with green pastures. If you'd like to circle the word green pastures in that section, and then fill in blank number 1, we'll follow. How does he make me? How does he make me? In the spiritual realm, the Good Shepherd wants to make us full. He wants to fill us up, not with chicken lasagna. He wants to fill us up so our spirits overflow. He wants to equip us. And when you look down on your outline, it says SMC, place to be SAVED. Always read the fine print, folks, on your outline. This is solid in the E section of our vision. God wants to fill us up. He wants to equip us with things that will build us up and give us a vision for the future. This is where you go to get the good stuff. This is where you go to be filled up. Are there times times that you take to find green pastures. I'd like to give 3 examples of green pastures that I've experienced in my life. Places that I go to get filled up. When I was a kid, one of those places was Camp Loves. If you're a little kid, it is a marvelous place to go and experience God in a new and different way. All camps offer that in the Christian context. And if you're a little kid, that is one of the green pastures that I would strongly suggest that you try out. If you're a youth, in not too many weeks, there's going to be something called Alive happening over in Canal Folk. How many people have ever been to that? Here's the deal. Ken Becker, our summer intern, is going to have a campsite over there. He's going to camp over there for 3 days. And if you want to come over there, or if you want to go to Alive, if you've never been there before, talk to Ken. And he'll help you get there and he'll help you navigate what it is. There are incredible speakers, incredible bands, and just such a marvelous time of being filled up in what is a very green pasture right over in Canal Folk. And then for adults, and for youth, I shouldn't say adults only because Brandy Auschwitz went to the Leadership Summit last year, and she was a youth. And this year, she's going again. I didn't even have to tell her who all was going to be there, but it's 2 days of being equipped and encouraged. It's called the Leadership Summit, but everybody in this room is a leader. You know why? Because you lead yourself. Self-leadership is a part of it, and there are Christian speakers and worship that happens there that will fill you up in such a beautiful way. It's coming August 7 and 8. If you have interest in doing that, I bought 10 registrations at the really good rate. 5 of them are already gone. So if you have any interest in that level of encouragement, I would invite you to go to that green pasture with us. How do you fill up? How do you stay full? The Good Shepherd wants you to stay full. But the question is, will you allow Him to make you be spiritually nourished? I can tell you those 3 things that I suggested are a lot better for you than my mother-in-law's chicken lasagna. Maybe not as tasty, but still good. How are you going to get filled up in green pastures? Let's read from the first comma to the second comma together. Back on your outline. He leadeth me beside still waters. He leadeth me beside still waters. Fill in blank number 2. What do quiet waters have to offer? What do quiet waters have to offer? Where are places that you slow down? And I don't mean the Walmart checkout line. Okay, that's not the slowing down that I'm talking about. The slowdowns that add more tension to your life. I'm saying, when are times that you slow down and you find the quiet waters the shepherd wants you to have? Do you take time just to be quiet and to reflect on what God has done, is doing, and has yet to do in your life? The Good Shepherd indeed wants us to go